What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Baby Chat. So this is Baby Chat. This is number 9. So before we get everything cooking, I'm Randy Paddock, obviously, but just a couple of housekeeping things. So one, remember, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but obviously, if you like it, you should share it, and help things grow. So make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you get anything. And if you like this episode or like any of the other episodes, share them, like them, comment on them. Make sure that you check them all out. Let people know. That's how shit grows. Word of mouth, son. So hook it up on that one. Other than that, make sure you're following all the social media. So we have Bullchat at Bullchat on Instagram, as well as at Randy J Paddock. That's my personal one. Then we have a Bullchat Pod YouTube channel. You want to check that shit out. But yeah, it's always good to support, subscribe. It's all free stuff you could do to help out small businesses and things that are trying to grow, especially if you like it. And if you hate it too, you can share it and be like, this thing fucking sucks. Look at this guy. Let's comment. He's an asshole. Either way. But that would be counterintuitive to what I wanted to talk about today. So I've been thinking about this a little bit lately. Um, you know, I'm pretty lucky in the fact that I live in Chicago. So anyone that lives in any urban environment, where there's a lot of people, you can see kind of the spectrum of how people can be, and how they interact with one another. And that's the spectrum of the awesome to the spectrum of the shitty to the spectrum of the what the fuck, right? Um, and, I've been thinking about that lately a little bit of you see a lot of what the fuck on the spectrum, or they're treating people shitty. And I know it's 2019 and everything's very progressive and new ideas. It's always needs to be new ideas and new things and new this and new this. But what I find is that much like fashion or music, or a lot of things in pop culture, things tend to come full circle, right? And sometimes we had it right long ago and we just tried to fluff it up, but it should come back to what it was originally. That might not make sense, but let me touch the point of how we treat people. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about the golden rule from back in the day, and I'm not going to get crazy religious on you, but I think every religion or every person, with any kind of a moral compass was brought up with something similar. If it wasn't called the golden rule, it was called something, but it all has a similar, outcome. And the golden rule is treat others how you'd want to be treated, right? It's pretty simple. So I'm sure you've heard that before in your life at some point in time, especially when you were younger. Um, and I think that it's very simple, and I think that it's a good idea. And then I also wonder, does this rule still exist? Looking around, it doesn't take long to turn on your TV or turn on your social media feeds and see people treating people probably how they wouldn't particularly like to be treated, right? And this isn't about, bullying or about having to be nice or love everybody or any of that hippie bullshit, but it is about like being a human being, being on the same planet as someone, being cordial, and why not? What's the worst thing that could happen if you just treated people the way that you would like to be treated? Because we've all been treated like shit. We've all been ignored. We've all been, you know, the butt of a joke. We've all been, maybe targeted for verbal harassment, maybe even physical harassment. That's just life. There's mean, shitty people out there. And if you haven't ran into it yet, that's awesome, but you will, So I wanted to talk and think a little bit more about this golden rule. So I guess this thing is like how if the golden rule states treat others how do you want to be treated, you should look at how you interact with others most of the time, right? And then think, so how do I really want to be treated? If you're looking at how you act most of the time, and I say most of the time because there's going to be outliers. You can't be perfect all the time. Sometimes your emotions are going to get the best of you. They shouldn't. You should be able to control them, but fuck, man, we're all human, and anger will happen, and sadness, and negative emotions sometimes are going to win because they take over and we don't control them. You want to try to, you don't want to lose your cool. But I also know, and speaking as someone who loses their cool from time to time, and as a younger man used to lose their cool all the time, that this is possible. But how do you want to be treated? You know, I think there's that book, there's the whole thing about it, The Secret, and I read it, and there's some things about it that I like. There's also things about it that I think are bullshit. So read it yourself and kind of figure it out. But it's all about manifesting things into existence, and to some point, I think that you can do that. I don't think if I sit in my couch all day watching Law and Order SVU reruns in my drawers with Leroy, and like, oh man, I'm gonna make hundreds of $1,000s to get a new Porsche. If I just think about that all day long, that one day I'm gonna open up my Chase account and there's gonna be $500,000 there, and I'm gonna walk outside and there's gonna be a new Porsche sitting on Cicero. Yeah, I don't fucking think that's going to happen. You do have to couple your thoughts and your positive vibes with getting the fuck off the couch and going and making it happen. But I think there is something to be said about manifesting thoughts, positive thoughts, and thinking about things and them willing into existence. And the only reason why is because I've done it before. There's been a lot of times where I've just said certain things and then they end up happening, right? And I've said them a lot and said them out loud and said them to many people, and then they happen. So is this me manifesting something? Maybe. Or is it my ego like, oh shit, I said this a bunch. I need to work hard and make it happen because I don't want to look like a fool with egg on my face. I don't know, but whatever it is, it works. So, coming full circle back to what I was talking about originally, asking yourself, how do you want to be treated, and really thinking about that, and then taking the time to go into thought about every interaction that you have with people during the day. If they were to treat you like that, how would it feel? Right? And then you go off the bat treating people that way, and like having the mindset of it should be reciprocal. Right? A lot of the times, if you say, like, I want to be treated politely, I want people to say good morning. So if I walk down the street and I say good morning, a lot of times people aren't going to be like, fuck you. Right? Most of the time, they're going to say good morning. Right? If they're a little more scared and awkward, a little smile. If they're completely nuts, they might look down. But whatever, you're not usually going to get a hostile remark. So how do you want to be treated? And I think that, is there a part of ourselves that we don't like, so we feel that we need to be treated like shit? So I've been kind of dealing with this a little bit lately. And I wouldn't call it like self-hate, but like I just haven't been feeling myself 100%, and I've been like just kind of like in my head a lot, and falling off the path. There's a certain way I like to live. I'm disciplined. I like to keep shit tight, and I've been slipping. And then once that slope is going, it's on, because I get pissed at myself. Like if I don't complete something I wanted to complete, or I don't do something I said I was going to do, or whatever the case may be, then usually I could snap out of it. But lately, and this happens from time to time, I just been like beating myself up about it. Like, what the fuck you doing? And just kind of negative self-talk. And then it leads to other things slipping, and it leads to, really bullshit excuse making and justification in my brain while I'm taking the easy route and doing things. And it's just this. So then I kind of have this feeling of, I don't feel like I should be treated well, because I'm not very happy with myself right now. I'm not very pumped on it. So it's only natural that other people should treat me bad, or should have negative feelings towards me, or not like me, and I think I'm not the only person that struggles with that stuff. I think that's a fairly normal thing. And like I said, it's happened to me lately. Like I just haven't been feeling myself. I've been kind of acting ways I normally wouldn't. And I've been, talking shit to myself, and it's affected like a couple of workouts. It's affected some things in my personal life. And it's like, fuck, dude, like what the fuck, and then it's just negative mojo out there, and, so when I'm feeling like that, I don't feel like I need to be treated especially well. So I don't feel that I should have to treat others well. And that's the point I'm going to. And this is not cool, and it's not a good justification. But that's that inner bitch justification, of, well, I'm not too pumped on myself right now, so like I'm going to be short with people. I'm not going to be polite with people. I'm not going to be cordial with people. Like, I'm going to be more selfish about my time and what's important. And it's ass backwards. And it's not the space I like to be in, you know. And luckily, the other day, I really got mindful about it. I'm like, dude, I gotta knock it off. I picked up Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules of Life, which is an awesome book. And I read chapter 7, and it's about, you know, before you could judge the outside world, clean your own house. And it just goes back into the simple process of, you know what to do and what not to do. So just start doing things that you know you shouldn't do. That's simple. Like, you know, you're not supposed to do these things, so just start not doing them again. You know, so like a simple thing of what can I control? Well, my dishes are dirty and I've been putting it off and being an asshole about it and making excuses and whatever. I'm just going to do those. Boom. So I did them. Felt a little bit better. You know, I always make my bed, but kind of was half-assed it, making it a little bit better. You know, like I needed to look at some stuff for business and tax shit. Boom, like actually doing that, putting plans into play, look at some budgeting things. So just actually starting to fucking do what I'm supposed to do. And lo and behold, like 48 hours later, I feel like $1,000,000. I feel awesome. I'm smiling again. I feel that I'm awesome and that people should think that I'm awesome and treat me like I'm awesome. And in turn, I'm treating people like they're awesome. I'm a lot happier. I'm smiling to people. I probably look nuts in the streets. I'm whistling and kind of singing to myself. And, you know, I'm walking down the street today whistling. I'm getting, hey, good mornings. I'm getting this and that in Chicago, which is a savage fucking city. You know what I mean? So, like, when that inner bitch is winning for me and I'm not feeling myself, it's very uncomfortable and it affects my life. I don't sleep well. My nutrition gets off. Like I dropped like 5 pounds, and it's not like I'm in like a crazy depression or anything's too bad. It's just I haven't been cognizant and thinking about like my nutrition and what I need to eat. I got to meet in like March, right? So I need to be eating, growing muscle, getting bigger, getting stronger, right? Not fucking off. Like need to be recover, sleeping. So like if I'm sleeping like shit because I'm thinking too much about things that are out of my control, and then next thing you know, I'm out and I'm like short with people. Like I'm getting road rage. I'm like not letting people in. Like I'm not making eye contact with people. Like all this complete fucking bullshit, right? That makes you a shitty human, right? I don't want to be treated like that. I know how it feels. Right, the golden rule, if you want to treat others how you like to be treated. I like when someone like lets me into traffic. I like when people look in my eyes when they speak with me. I like getting smiled at in the streets. You know, it's fucking awesome. The other day, I hit it on my Instagram story. I was leaving a coffee shop, and 2 people were so nice, held the door open for me. What am I? I'm like a capable dude, you know. And some guy opened the door, said, "Here you go." And I said, "Oh, thank you." Then some nice young lady on me, she's like, "Oh, have an awesome day." Like, fuck yeah. And I walked out, I'm like, that was awesome. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly how I want to be treated. I should treat people like that, you know. Um, so it always goes back to like we get into our own, or at least me particularly, I get in my own head, and I think, are we just more self-absorbed these days that, you know, we don't think about treating people how we want to be treated. We just expect to be treated a certain level, and that our shit matters more because we don't live in reality all the time, because we live more in an online world. I don't know. Like maybe that's how it is, because in the online world you can treat people however the fuck you want. There's no repercussion, right? If I'm on Twitter and my Twitter name's at whatever, like it's not my name, I can go on there and just talk shit to people, and knowing that it's not going to come back to me. Like I could still be treated fine in the real world, but online I could treat people like a prick. The golden rule's not going to apply, right? Or I'm being passive aggressive or hiding out behind things, or the plethora of bullshit you could do online. So like, are we knowing that we're not in the real world, that we forgot how to interact with people in the real world, or how it really feels, you know, to feel good or to feel like shit in reality? Like when those people held the door for me, how it feels to feel good. Or, you know, if someone quit talking to you, or if someone, you know, said something rude to you in real life, like how it feels to feel like shit. So like, I don't know, man. Like, I think we need to get back to that, back to the old school thought, and very simple. You know, we are here together. You know, I talk about this all the time, right? No matter where you live, you're on the planet with other humans and you're going to interact with them. So why not be cooperative with each other? Why create tension when we don't have to? Why not make it easier for everybody to have awesome days all the fucking time? You know, and taking time out from like not being so self-absorbed is actually feels good when you stop thinking about yourself for a minute. It's awesome. If you've ever, volunteered or given to charity or helped somebody or coached somebody or mentored somebody or helped someone with a project or done anything, you know how awesome it feels to not for things not to be about you. It's why people play team sports or join CrossFit gyms or fucking are part of a trivia team league. Like that camaraderie and being part of something bigger, a collective, is a way more powerful feeling than the individual. And it's in the negative way too, right? It's also your political affiliation or I'm team fucking carnivore diet or whatever. So if we can put that in the positive way of making things not about ourselves but about the bigger and really not be as self-absorbed, we're going to treat people better. So this is what I'm going to start practicing a lot more. Obviously mindfulness of every situation and every interacting with every human being, knowing that hey, they're a fucking human on the earth too, and they deserve to be treated well because I'm a human being on the planet and I deserve to be treated well. But if I don't treat someone well, why would I expect them to treat me well, or would I expect the universe to treat me well? So, like things that you can do. I'm going to start holding doors more. Those people holding the doors for me, it might sound stupid, whatever. It meant a lot to me, and I thought it was awesome. And I'm going to start doing that way more because I liked how that felt and how I was treated that way. I'm going to do that more. Eye contact. When you speak with people, I know if you're used to being a fucking keyboard warrior or living in your virtual world or whatever, you might forget how to communicate, but looking in people's eyes when you speak to them, right? It's just a good feeling. It shows someone that you're engaged, that you care, and it feels good, right? Having manners, right? And you don't have to be some Southern belle walking with a book on your head and knowing what fork to use for the salad and the fucking dinner or whatever. But I'm saying if someone gives you something, say thank you. If you want something, say please, right? Like don't be abrupt with people. Don't interrupt people when they're speaking. If you're at a bar and someone makes you a drink, tip them, right? Like just having basic manners, letting someone, if you have a big thing full of fucking groceries and if someone has a loaf of bread, let them go ahead of you, right? Like simple manners, learning people's names. When you meet people, learning their names, using their names. I love it when people use my name. It shows that they care, it shows they're engaged, it's respectful, right? So doing that, just respecting people in general, giving people the benefit of a doubt. I know obviously in bigger circumstances, respect does need to be earned, but giving someone the benefit of the doubt and respecting them until they give you a reason to not. What's the worst that could happen? Right, I show this person respect. What's the worst thing that happens? I don't know. Makes them feel good? What if they're in a situation where they get disrespected all the time or treated like shit and you're that person that doesn't? Made their fucking day. Right? What's that? There used to be one of the sayings I really liked. It was like, if someone doesn't have a smile, give them one of yours, they're free. Stuff like that. Just realizing that we're in a planet filled with humans and it's not just us and we can make it better, we can make it worse every day, every interaction. What do? Do you want to make it better or do you want to make it worse? And what's the cost to you to make it better? How hard is it to do this? Right? Flash a smile at somebody. How hard is it to let someone in? How hard is it to open a door, to say thank you, learn someone's name, shake someone's hand, look in their eyes when you speak to them? How hard is it to have self-respect and feel that you should be treated awesome and feel that you should be respected and in turn be the person that says, hey, I feel I deserve this, so I'm going to give that to every person because I want them to have that feeling as well. What could hurt? What's the worst that could happen? Ask yourself that question. Really, for real, do it. What's the worst that could happen if I'm nice to this person? What's the worst thing that could happen if I smile at this person? What's the worst thing that happen if I'm fucking worthy, if I'm fucking awesome, if I'm fucking rad, if I got a lot of shit going on, I'm cranking, I'm crushing, I'm killing? What's the worst thing that happened if I treated other people like that? That they see me for how awesome I am and treat me well, so boom, right back at you, brother. Something to think about. Until next time, man, be cool to each other. Keep it in the books. See you then. Peace.